people.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being patient. We're a few minutes later than usual. No, we've been on time, and you guys haven't been calling us out on the time. So happy Friday! Happy Friday! Yeah, Friday.
It is Friday.
Welcome to Live.
You know
from
how
Rabs.
I know it's Friday?
Why?
Because it's bingo
It's
day.
bingo night. Oh, welcome to Live from Rabs from inside Rabs Country Lanes. The Staten Asylum, or whatever you want to refer to it today. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are all here. It's a disgusting day outside.
Actually, it's clearing up a little bit.
It
was
sticky.
Yeah, it is. It is muggy. It is
mean,
muggy.
I feel it, even as cold as it is in this place. You know, it's and
it's
so
definitely muggy.
Yeah. The funny part, when this building is always temperature regulated. It's 68 degrees across the board. It's too cold, it's too hot, it's too this.
Correct.
But if we didn't do it, we'd have other issues. But today, even with nobody in the building, you feel that no matter what we do,
right.
to pull all the humidity out is not possible.
Well, even when we've had the lane installations, they've said that humidity is an issue in this part of Staten Island in general. But yeah, it's humid. What are you going to do?
And we're battling some smells. We were smelling pizza and pasta and sauce and not gravy, sauce. Jimmy was cutting up. Actually, you know what? Naz, check this out.
They left it. They were going to leave it for you. Did they leave it?
I left it because I couldn't sit on it. This is part of what was lane 14.
Yeah.
So the old panels came up, and we're repurposing it, but they cut it. And I usually like these smells.
No, I know. I smelled it when they were down here. Because I was down here.
I love the smell of burning. This is like.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Oh, it's
kind of like a smell, of course, between burning wood and burning plastic.
And
so it's nasty.
And that lane was not stripped when they pulled it up. So there's still now the conditioner that was on the lane
is on your hands.
Is gunk.
Awesome. Just wipe it on the tablecloth.
I mean,
grab a big handful and wipe it off.
It's fine. It's gonna get washed anyway at some point. Oh. Where's John Wilders? John Wilders. Actually, I think John is on his way home.
I was going to say, I think he's on his way home.
He was headed home. John was with us for a couple of days. He visited his family. He stopped in here at Rabs Country Lanes. We had a great conversation.
We had a nice visit. He came in, popped in.
We invited him to be on the set of the show.
Yep.
He probably overstayed his welcome just a few minutes. Oh, but it's good. And it's nice. It was nice to see John. I mean, it's nice to see anybody. I happened to stop in Walgreens. Which I was never a fan of going into drugstores, and I'm really not a fan of going into drugstores.
You know what? Very rarely. I get my drugs at a small local drugstore, Erica Pharmacy. Shout out to John Matera. But I kind of have a thing about going in. Although I love CVS, not just for the drugs, but I like the other. You know, go in for a toothpaste and end up with spending $40 worth of stuff.
So. We go to down the block to Highland Medicine Cabinet for our drugs. Right. I just needed a couple of things, and they were stocked on items. I don't know if we should share this because people are going to.
Oh, you don't want to tell people.
Oh, but they were stocked.
Essentials.
It was just. I don't like this new experience. It's very unpersonal. I mean, even as you could do all you want. Sneeze guards and stepping away from people. People still do stupid things. Guy walking around the store with the mask half covering his face on the phone. Right. So now a poor lady's walking by and she's sitting there holding her face with the mask. Then there's the people with no regard to anybody else. Oh. Then there's the people touching everything on the shelves with their gloves on. That does nothing. And then you go up to the register, and you're blocked away from being directly at the counter, which you kind of were anyway because the candy and stuff. But there's nothing there. And in order to use your rewards, you have to touch the pin pad You have to key in your phone number on the pin pad. They won't take it from you to enter it in the system.
Oh, it depends on where you go, because
Right.
in the store I go to, they
and
take
I
my
said to him,
card.
I said, I'll give you my phone number. And he says, no, you have to enter it yourself.
Oh, the rewards.
So really? So now I have to touch
Yeah.
the thing that the guy had the gloves on. I mean, this is so stupid. At some point it becomes stupid. So now I've been using Apple Pay on my phone to avoid touching.
Right. So
And
you
it's
just
great.
do the tap.
I just
right.
tap. I have to take my mask off because it's got to recognize your face.
Right.
But it's just, I mean, there's only so far we can go. But some things are just silly. I mean, it's just silly.
I usually carry a pen in my pocket, because you don't realize how many times you have to sign for stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I know at the pharmacy you have to sign for the prescriptions, but they have a pad. They have a pad, like an iPad that you sign on.
Yeah.
So I just kind of take out my pen.
Well, this Walgreens needs something on the counter. So if they're using Q-tips, not this one. And that's why I do like that metal key thing that you put on your keychains that they've been selling. You can open a door, you can touch, and it's supposed to be antimicrobial.
Right.
I'm to an extent, I'm a germaphobe, but I'm not. I'll touch anything.
Right.
But watching other people do stupid things makes you
nervous. Right.
Want to be a part of that.
Right.
So I've been avoiding the stores, and that experience I had no faith in the drugstore.
I told you I placed an order with CVS online yesterday because I really don't want to go in the store.
I won't be going there for a while. And the crazy part, I like snacks, and they have like the new snacks. And
that's an even better reason for me not to go there, because I avoid the snacks.
And some of them have the finger condoms. I don't know, is that what you call them? They have the little bowls. They look gross, but they're little finger condoms that you take and you put on your finger to touch the pin
finger
pads.
cots, they're called.
Whatever they are, cots.
COTS, finger cots.
But a cot is a thing you sleep in.
That people use them in the bank. That's what they use it when they count money. When they use finger cots.
Yeah, we're not going to get into the argument about the illnesses, the airborne illnesses that have disappeared. But yes, that's it.
The regular flu. Is that what he's talking about?
We could talk about that for days.
This isn't flu season, though.
Not yet.
So, but we'll see what happens when it's flu season.
And so the issue why I don't like the drugstore, that experience to begin with, is that people
go there to pick up medicine that is
when they're sick.
Right.
We talked about this yesterday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. There's a little bit of a ranting time right now, because there's a lot going on right now that's making people uneasy. And, all I can say is I pray for peace, and I pray that calmer heads prevail and somebody steps forward to lead us through this difficult time. We need strong leadership right now, and we need somebody that a voice people will listen to, and that's we do need some tranquilizer.
And you know what? And that's why we hope that we're the voice that you listen to, and we appreciate you coming to join us every day and talk whatever it is we're talking about. Bowling, our community, and we're seeing some new faces today. So thanks for joining in.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy Friday. Pam Silvestri's there, and hi Pam. Great conversation yesterday. We had her as we usually do on Thursday afternoons. And if you don't get enough Pam, you can tune into her Facebook
every day. Although I believe she is going to be down to 6 days a week now. She is considering, if she hasn't made up a mind, she might have, to taking a day off on Sunday, because church will be open. Church, as we call it. Church is going to be open.
Pam, you deserve at least a day off.
At least.
And if any, for those that were asking about John Wilder's, Lisa has reported he is not home yet. So he's probably in transit. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden we saw him pop in as he's listening to us while he's driving in the car. Well, happy Friday. We've got two special guests with us today.
Not one. Two. And one is really special.
I mean, they're both special. I mean, they're so special. This is who they are, Statler and Waldorf.
One is special in a different way. Oh, boy.
We're reorganizing again.
Yeah, I had that. Well done. Hey, what's going on? Oh, okay. There he is.
Ray's dancing. I can't show you. But these are our special guests for tonight.
That wall is done, though. Don't move that stuff around.
And they are certainly special. So, you good?
Yeah,
he's dancing. Let him dance. He's dancing. So, with us today, we have.
Today is a day. And we have them occasionally.
And if they are special, we're the ones that are special.
Well, it would only be appropriate that they would be on the show today.
Oh, and look, everybody agrees. Look at this, and they are special. They're great. I mean, these two gentlemen are great. We have our Staten Island USBC leadership team, the one and only Jim Episcopia, our association president, and our vice presidents, past presidents, also chairman of the awards committee. What happened here?
I don't know.
Hi, guys.
Did we lose Dan?
Jimmy's upside down.
I think Dan is just not showing his.
Where am I?
Jim. Jim.
Oh boy! See, this is exact. Oh, there goes Dan. Dan, we can hear you. We just can't see you.
I thought you would have.
And Jim, you froze up.
Is he frozen? Maybe
frozen.
It was that beard he's got.
I know. Look at that beard. We saw that beard in action the other day. I'm going to tell Jim, if you can hear us, leave and come back. Jim was working fine before we tested it. I was excited. He learned the newfangled tricks here.
Yeah, he was in there, and quarantine has been rough on Jim.
I think they both froze for whatever reason. We want them. If you could hear us, leave and come back. And it looks like Dan is in the process of making that happen. And then Jim will leave and come back. So we'll get them. Back in here.
He's gonna kick him out. Goodbye.
Well, they'll be right back. We're going to talk some bowling. They have a special announcement to make. It's nice to check in. Jim came to the studio when we were outside here.
He did. He was in our little studio audience.
He's like triple parked outside and then made himself comfortable. His beard is looking.
It's looking full.
A little more full than it was.
Yeah, it's strange. I wonder how many other guys are growing full beards during quarantine.
I've seen a lot of them. I mean, look at Jimmy Otto's beard.
That's almost a whole person.
And I don't even know if he talked about making a Facebook page for that beard. I mean, he should.
He should. It should have its own page. He said he was going to do that. I haven't seen it yet.
We have our friend Robin Marshall, who was used to work for us at USBC. She's got a Facebook page dedicated to her hair. She's got great hair. And she's a Texas girl, so of course it's big hair. But she has somebody created a Facebook page dedicated to her hair.
Wow. All right. There's something for you.
There is something. Hey, in the meantime, I want to share a meme of the day. So this has been floating around the interwebs and Facebook the last couple days. And it drives me a little batty. But I think it's hysterical. But it drives me batty for one obvious reason.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Yes. What is driving you batty about?
I'm no scientist, but has anyone tried killing Corona with the bowling alley shoe spray yet?
Oh, you know what? I didn't. The ones I saw.
Bowling is spelt wrong.
The ones I saw cut off the bottom two lines. I guess and I just scrolled past it. So I didn't even see that. I
mean, this is funny. I mean, that shoe spray is pretty powerful.
And I did. I commented on somebody's post that stuff kills pretty much everything.
It's labeled HIV spray. It's hospital grade stuff.
Yeah.
So we probably have killed Corona with it prior to all of this.
Who knows? Maybe that's why we've been so lucky.
We don't know. But I love this meme. I just wish I want to meet the person who created it
and check it
and fix it. Because it's driving us bananas. Jim was.
I'm glad I didn't say that.
All right, so I think we've got Dan.
Can you see
Dan,
me?
welcome back. We cannot see you, but we can hear you.
I don't know what's going on. It says the camera's working.
Oh my God! It says that your camera is disabled.
Well,
but we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. So Dan, we're waiting on Jim, which is okay. But how are you? How are you doing?
Good. Everybody here is fine. Family's good. getting a little stir crazy staying in. Of course, my granddaughter comes over and then drives me crazy because she's wound up like a top after not being out for weeks. So we try to get along that way. She wants to definitely go in the pool. A little too chilly for that.
Yeah, it's a little cold.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Our pool, the other day, we put the pool up to like 90 degrees, and the kids enjoyed it. But when Allie came out of the pool, she was just about blue. Poor kid.
Yeah.
And then they went on. Then about an hour later, they went again.
Oh yeah, well they're kids.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they honestly do not care. They would definitely enjoy just being in the pool and just stay in there until they're waterlogged and they're shriveled.
Shriveled.
Small little people.
All right, so I see that Jim Episcopia, you might be watching, so you need to come back into the stream using the link that you used before, and then you froze up, so we missed you. So Dan, Grandpa, that's so cute. He's a grandpa. I mean, she's not so little anymore. Talk a little bit. So the Exceptional Children Social Club. How are the guys holding up during this time?
And girls.
Did we lose Dan too?
Oh,
there he is. Hey, Dan.
You got me now? What's going on?
We don't see you, but I mean, we hear you, which is cool.
One says that the camera's on, the other one says it's off. I don't know which one to hit here. So
it's definitely off.
We're gonna leave you. We'll leave you on the. How about we just work with the audio? So I was asking you. So you also run the Children's Exceptional Social. Oh my God, I can't even get it out.
Spit it out, Frank.
It's all that stuff from the alley smell.
It is. How are the guys and gals holding up during all this?
Everyone is good. No problems. Everybody's healthy. The initial problem was that every Saturday they wanted to go back bowling after we stopped. So it took a couple of messages to their group homes and to their families to try to convince them that, you can't come back bowling yet until we tell you. Because in some cases, bowling is so sacred that, you can't go on vacation if they have to go bowling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing, and some of them we get some phone calls, which breaks my heart. Some of the guys and gals are reaching out looking to bowl. We certainly miss seeing Ray a couple days a week, but we know when we get back up and running, those guys might be the first ones here.
Yeah,
and we had sent some in-school bowling kits to some of the group homes so they could get their bowling fix in the house. And so Billy Chapnick had shared with me, Janet shared that Billy and his group, they've been bowling in the driveway as much as they can, but they're still upset because it's not the same.
It's not the same. Especially Billy. Billy's pretty serious.
Well, I told them that, we're obviously we're done for this season and we start again in September. So instead of the first week of bowling in September, the first week is going to be our awards buffet. We're going to get together at Showplace, give out the trophies and the awards for this year, have a little buffet, tell them what teams they're on for the new season, get them all excited and spirited, and then start again the week after that. So
I
bet you they're looking forward to that. They, that's
aren't we all?
Yeah, I know.
And we have official announcement. Breaking news: John Wilders has arrived in Florida.
Thank God. Thank God he's here.
So I don't know what's happening with Jim. I'm getting ready. I might pick up the phone and call him. But he was doing all right. He was there. I'm a little concerned about him now. I'm going to get him on the phone.
Maybe his beard took him hostage.
Oh God, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Dan, what is have you been getting out?
Oh yeah. We've been going out most of the time. I mean, I do some shopping. I do, every day I get up, go out, get my newspaper,
right?
Get a cup of coffee, just get some exercise, walk around. Fortunately, most of the people in my neighborhood here and in our families, we're all healthy. So we do get a chance to socially distance each other and talk, I just got the public service electric and gas bill my gas went up 70% because my wife has to cook.
Well, that's on the downside. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That's
Well, no, she's happy now that the weather is better because now I get to use the grill every day.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Falls back on you now.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what do you see going forward with I know Frankie had a couple questions, but I'm gonna just go forward here. As far as now, you're in Jersey, right?
Yes.
And so Jersey is kind of moving along a little bit of ahead of us.
Yes, we have more things are open than the city and the boroughs. In fact, I was down the shore 2 weeks ago. I had to go down buy my annual beach badge. Since my wife and I now grace the senior pages, we have to show up to present our ID. But I mean, they have to limit the capacity down there, and they're taking steps to do that.
Right.
But just wanted to be sure we got the passes so that we were ready when we were able to go. And that, little diversion there. But they're opening the boardwalks in some places. You can go on the beach in places. You can't go in the water yet.
Right.
And you don't want to. It's only 50 degrees.
Right. It's a little cold.
It's a lot cold.
They were showing people that was surfing because evidently
they have the wetsuits on.
You can't swim, but you can surf.
You can surf and you can surf fish if you want.
Oh, how does that work?
You stand there and you wade up to your ankles and you sort of you fish from there.
So when you fall off, you got to swim. So how does that work?
No, well, you hope you don't hit your head on the rocks first.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and look at this. Jim has come back. All right, check this out. I love it. I think we're entering phase 1, June 8th. I think was the announcement today. But we've been saying, a little concerning for us is the fact that New Jersey is going to be a little bit ahead of us. Yeah. And what does that mean? I mean, you're happy when Staten Islanders leave New Jersey, right? Right, Dan?
Well, you say, what do? I go to my Costco over here in Bayonne. Only Monday to Thursday. I don't go there on the weekends because the Staten Islanders and Jersey City people show up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I have to admit that I go to that. I go to that one also. It's very nice and brand new.
Good.
Yeah, it's nice. All right. So I think Jim is with us. Jim, are you there? Oh, boy.
Deafening silence.
I don't know about Jim. I don't know.
He said he thought he was having a Wi-Fi issue there, so he moved. And so
Jim, here, Jim. Oh, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, you guys are breaking up coming in. I must have bad Wi-Fi.
We now hear you, which is a good thing.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we certainly hear you. Jim, how are you?
And there we go.
Can't hear you too good.
Oh boy.
Put your hearing aid in.
All right, Dan, take over.
All right. Well,
Consider myself fascinated. Over, Dan.
Well, we can hear you. You're breaking up a little bit, but we can hear you now.
Can't hear. The struggle is real, Pat.
The struggle is definitely real.
Yes, it is. Anyway,
so we invited these two. Let's see how this rolls. So we invited these two gentlemen. We invited these two gentlemen to come on and talk about bowling and, of course, what's happening, or really the lack thereof happening with our bowling association at this time. But I mean, they've been working in the background on a couple of things.
Yep.
Previously, we talked about we
changed the date of the dinner.
I can't talk.
We've rescheduled the dinner. The adult dinner is now going to be on Friday, August 14th
And the youth dinner has been rescheduled to the Tuesday before that, which is August 11th.
Yes. Good. See, that's why we do this together. I changed my mood to wonky today.
Yeah,
that might actually work.
So we're planning on going forward. Hopefully, by that time, things will be in place, and we'll be able to kind of have a little bit of normal, whatever normal is going to be at that time.
Yeah. So during these two events, we recognize our champions from all of our events. Our season high average, some special award winners, and so we were fortunately that we were able to get all of our championship tournaments completed before this happened. Right. So Jim made sure all the prize checks had gotten out, and everybody was paid. And congratulations to all the champions, which we talked about when that happened. And that the championship tournament ended the weekend right before the forced closure. So, we were excited to get that done. And so during this event, and Dan, you're the chairman of the Hall of Fame and Awards Committee. We take the time to honor some fantastic people in our industry for their service and, of course, their performance on the lane. Do you want to talk a little bit about what we do? What's going on?
Well, okay, just to follow up on what you were just saying about the tournaments. The SI USBC recognizes all of the tournament winners in all of the categories. We also have Hall of Fame awards, and we have some special awards that the association gives. Just to detail a little bit, we've got 27 tournament award categories. We've got 3 association award categories. We've got 2 Hall of Fame categories. We also have the high averages. So in the total, we give away 34 award categories. Now, there's more than that because you've got teams and doubles, et cetera, et cetera. So all in all, you're probably talking about somewhere near 65 to 70 awards,
right?
That we prepare every season. And fortunately, we had all of that information before the closure. So that was already sent over to Country Lane's trophy shop to start preparing the awards. So we're ahead of the game in that respect. The tournament winners, they will recognize at the time of the tournaments. They know who they are. But now we have the special awards that we'll be announcing today.
So we've got the special awards. We include Hall of Fame, service to bowling. Talk a little bit about that, because I think we take the opportunity to recognize. We always recognize the honorees for their work on the lane, the bowlers for their work on the lanes, and a lot of times, what's happening behind the scenes is taken for granted.
For a long time was overlooked, but we've decided that it was time to recognize the people that work hard all year to make sure that leagues are well run and full, and everything goes off without a hitch.
Volunteerism is sometimes a thankless job.
Yes,
and we want to, and the association's built on volunteers,
absolutely.
which is the beauty of what makes it work. So, and what many might not know also, Dan was the first president of the Staten Island USBC. Dan got
instrumental
in getting this off the ground.
He really was.
It was a typical volunteer effort. I volunteered to attend a meeting when as the representative of the Exceptional Children's Social Club, and before I knew it, I was volunteered into other committee work.
Yeah, it was the Staten Island YABA at the time. We were getting ready to reorganize. We had some issues, and you were an essential part working with Lori and Naz and the team to move forward. Dan was a little bit of a third party, so to speak, which made it a little bit easier.
It made it easier because he came in as an almost, I don't want to say an outsider, but
I didn't know anybody.
Right. It was easy for him to come in and kind of
look at it through a different lens, because all of us were so involved and knew, we were able to provide the information, but you also, you have to be careful because it's got emotional decisions. Yeah. So it was a natural fit that Dan would lead the transition team.
It was perfect.
We had a transition team that was created of representation from all the associations. Attended a bunch of meetings where, I mean, some hostile, we won't get into details, but we were trying to truly make Staten Island USBC its own association and break away from the rest of New York City because it made sense for our members and our bowling centers. Right. And, you know, kudos to Dan and the team that we built because here we are today, 15 years later, celebrating some of that success. So, and we certainly couldn't have done it without Dan, and Dan's still involved today, and we appreciate. I have to say, thank you. And part of the, and I want to zip a little bit. Dan was inducted into the Staten Island USBC Hall of Fame last year, and a lot of it had to do with his service, and really as a pioneer to helping us form the organization.
In addition to his work with the Exceptional Children's Social.
Oh, and that goes. Dan, how long were you involved? Are you involved in the Exceptional Children's Social Club?
45 years.
Wow. That's a long
time. Another volunteer. Listen, nothing gets done by one person. Everything is done by a committee. You've got a lot of people who are interested in volunteering their time and their expertise. It's all a committee decision. It's not a single person or one particular group. So, you know, just like the Hall of Fame and Awards Committee, these are the people who sift through the applications, you know, go through who's applying, go through then the special awards, who should be recognized, can we recognize, etc. It's all done by committee, and it's all done with a great deal of effort. So, you know, kudos to the committee.
Yeah, and you know what, and the committee certainly takes pride in the work that they do.
Right.
You know, it's not an easy. No committee is easy to lead. When you're talking about recognizing people and awarding. Running tournaments in thankless, but it's not easy. And then you take pride in the work because, hey, look, we're going to have this event and honor these folks. And, you know, Dan, I don't want to, hey, can we have some quiet on the set, please? Who invited a big mouth into the building today?
Okay. Right. We definitely need to get the diffuser back going. We definitely do. It will be on tomorrow.
Well, what they can't hear is all the chatter in our ears.
I know.
And I never let that bother me, but Jesus Christ.
Yes. I don't think he was there, though.
So anyway, so you see, I think we all take pride in that work, and I think that's important. So we get to see that come out. And there's always someone that, oh, you know, we have to make sure recognize it another time. Oh, my God, who didn't think of that? And we rely on nominations, too. So some self-nominations. And then, of course, bowlers in the field to nominate people.
Yeah. And listen, you try your best to cover as many bases as you can. And, you know, we don't recognize somebody this year. Hopefully we get to them the following year or the year after because, you know, everybody stays on the list. And,
that's right.
And, you know, they get considered, you know, for the next year. Mm-hmm. But it is tough decisions and people do. We do take it seriously.
We're in, you know, after, you know, the first 5 years of the association, it became time to start thinking about the Hall of Fame committee as we had gotten some traction, if you will, and who we should be recognizing. And it started out, you know, and it continues to be, you know, you're recognizing people who are members of the Staten Island USBC who bowl on Staten Island in Staten Island tournaments. And that's really, you know, the first part of it. So when we talk about Hall of Fame and the applications come in, the first thing we look at is, you know, how did they do or how did they compete in Staten Island tournaments? You know, I just lost your video here. I don't know where you are.
Oh, we're here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay.
If we can hear you, we'll let you know.
I don't know how we'll let him know if he can't hear us.
That's true.
The Hall of Fame applications, you know, are submitted by any member of the SIUSBC, and that's then is reviewed and voted on by the committee. The committee has the responsibility following that to look at the special awards that the association provides, that being the outstanding contribution to bowling, the the Officer of the Year and
Right.
the Volunteer of the Year. All right.
Right.
And I'll tell you that the page of candidates, or the pages of candidates, continues to grow, because in most of the cases of our volunteers, those are people who've been doing their work and their association with the league for 25 or more years.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
mhm.
And we
So-
still have to get caught up on a lot of that, because there's so many people that have been doing it for so long and doing a
Right.
great job too, and doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this year we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 honorees with special awards this year. So let's talk about them.
Okay. First is the Hall of Fame Awards. All right. We have 2 categories in Hall of Fame. The first category, obviously, is for performance. And the second category is for meritorious service. In the category of performance, we are honoring Tim McAuliffe
Junior.
Jr. Oh, right. Sorry. Timmy started compiling all of his awards and his trophies back when he was in the youth, association. But in 2015, he started piling up the USBC. He took first place in the doubles. In 2016, he took first place in the singles. In 2017, he took first place in the team. And he was first place in all events in both 16 and 17.
Right.
And he asterisked that by saying that all of those adds up to his version of the Grand Slam. I would submit that he didn't win the Grand Slam until he wins the daily 50-50 at the tournaments.
And there's always
Timmy has also gone off and he's placed, he's bowled in national conferences. He likes to say he came in, he admits that he came in 5th place in Reno in 2001, but he was only missed first place by 50 pins. So he was really competitive in that respect too.
he's always
He has
competitive.
quite a resume, and if you know him, you know he's a true gentleman, and he is a great coach. He coaches Wagner High School, a boys team, and I know he helps out with the girls too. And he's a great teacher. He's a great coach. He's a great guy. He's a good guy.
Yep. He also likes to say that in the New Year's Singles Classic in 2014, that he won that with a 300 game.
True story.
Mhm.
I mean, he likes to say it, but it's true. And he's got,
Yep.
he really is he's a great competitor on and off the lanes for sure. So
Yeah.
that's
And
awesome.
we're proud to honor Timmy.
We are.
Congratulations to Tim. We have he joins the club of the parent and child in our Hall of Fame.
Yep.
But it might be the first mother-son duo in our Hall of Fame.
It might be.
Yeah, I think so.
You have mother-daughters.
You have to go back and look at the women's group, but I don't think there is any other
No, there are any.
mother's daughter, yes, but not mother's son.
No, we don't have any of them. I don't think we have any mother's sons in the Hall of Fame. And really, when you look at the Hall of Fame, so the the Staten Island Women's Bowling Association Hall of Fame goes back to 1990, where and then the Staten Island USBC, as you mentioned before, brought in all of those Hall of Famers, and then we also added those Staten Island bowlers that were in the Hall of Fame by the New York Bowling Association.
New York, right.
And the first ones from Staten Island in that Hall of Fame were back in 1977, Vinnie Parisi and Benny McNevich. So when we look at our Hall of Fame and you look at men and women, there aren't as many men because of the fact of how many were honored over a period of time.
Right.
But these are just the Staten Islanders.
Staten Island women had their own. We had our own association.
Right. So yeah, it's the first mother-son duo. How cool is that?
Yep. Okay. Our second Hall of Fame category is the meritorious service, and this year we're honoring my partner, Jim Episcopia. Jim has been involved in.
I know. Too bad he's not here, which was part of the conversation. Which was part of the reason
he dropped off again?
Yes,
Yeah, he's
did.
gone. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Well, Jim's been involved in the association since its inception. He's been a board member since the inception, but he also took on, as in the association, the challenge of the competition and tournament committee. Him and his committee. Ray was the co-chair. Ray Lawson, co-chair of that, and they had a lot of work to do in terms of the rules and regulations and getting everything set up, and meeting all of the national requirements, etc. But in fairness to Jim, he also has spent years as the running two leagues that I'm particularly aware of, and that's the Rab Wilkinson Memorial League, which used to be the Tuesday night men's league, as well as the American Legion League. And in those two leagues, he's been doing it for well over 25 or 30 years. Yep. So we're pleased to be able to recognize Jim for his definitely meritorious service and volunteerism to the bowling associations.
Awesome stuff. Well, congratulations to Jim and Tim. We certainly look forward to celebrating them. And I'm sure, I don't know what that Hall of Fame speech, both Hall of Fame speeches are going to look like. But when we live stream them, everybody will get to see them. And if you're there, you'll get to hear them. I don't know. What is Jim going to say? We might have to curb some. Do we curb the drink by the time he gets up there to speak?
We just make sure he takes out the "I am the king" line. You know.
I am the king of the castle.
I was going to ask him to tell one of his favorite bowling stories, but I'm going to have to save it for another day because he's got a couple of good ones. But anyway, we'll save those. We're going to have to. I did invite him to come in the studio with us today, and he said, no, I'll do it. So, and he was good. I don't know. But anyway, that's awesome. So our Hall of Famers, congratulations, Tim and Jim. Tim and Jim.
Tim and Jim.
Timmy and Jimmy. Oh, and so you have some other awards that you present.
Yes, our three association awards are the outstanding contribution to bowling, and the man that we're honoring this time is no stranger to awards as well as to the bowling. This year is Donnie Walters, and Donnie has been held about every position you can hold in the bowling world on Staten Island. When he wasn't running a center, he was running a tournament. You know, he's been running the Staten Island. He was running the Staten Island Singles Classic for 25 years, I think. I think he now runs the Donna Zajac Memorial Tournament. Donnie has been a broadcaster of bowling, and I see in his resume he's also broadcasted some professional boxing. So.
Wrestling, I thought.
Wrestling or boxing? I don't remember.
I thought it was wrestling.
But if he says boxing in the resume, it's boxing.
There you go. It must be boxing.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Okay.
And he's great.
But,
and you know, that man, he has conquered a lot.
Survivor.
He really is.
Yes.
And
Survivor.
when we see him,
he raised 4 kids by himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
4 boys.
And then up until recently, he had a big health scare, and he's doing well. He's got a renewed lease on life.
Yes, he does.
And he comes here, and the stories are endless. I mean,
yeah, he's got some memory.
He really does.
He does.
Everything.
And after we are live every day, one of the things we were going to have Donnie host one of our shows one day, and kind of like the old Staten Island Bowling Club theme to it, interview some of the old timers and have some conversations that maybe he had then and he could have now and then compare them.
Yeah.
And he was so excited to do that. So congratulations to Donnie. That's awesome.
And our next award then is the League Officers of the Year. Once again, these are volunteers who get re-volunteered into something that they didn't expect. We've got let me see where it is. I'm sorry. We've got Terry Hart and Allison Ponterio, and they are running the Pinsetter Madams.
Yes, they do.
Terry says that she was asked to step up to be the treasurer at one point of this league, and shortly after that, the president left, and she got graduated to be president. So she said that her and Allison have been running the league for well over 20 years and keeping that league together and keeping it going. It's a real tribute to them to doing that.
A good team.
Yeah.
Certainly good team. Terry's. I think Terry's still watching. Congratulations, Terry, and thank you,
congratulations, Terry and Allison,
for all that you guys do. That league has, that's another daytime league with a core audience of bowlers that continue to participate and be a part of what they have, and it's a great group of ladies.
When I came in here,
I can hear you.
I want to say Anna Vina used to run that league, and it was a nice sized league, and then not that the league split up, but it splintered a little bit, but it always stayed with that core group of ladies, and there probably is a group of them that have been there a long time, a long time.
Yep. Our final award is the Volunteer of the Year award. And this year we're recognizing John Castellano. John has spent over 30 years volunteering and running the bowling program and other athletic programs at PS 29. A true gentleman.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He works hard too.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he's all about his kids.
Yeah.
That program still goes today, and has in the last couple of years has actually grown.
Yeah.
They've opened it to kids from other schools to participate, and him and his wife, and he's dragged her along the journey too, and they really do take pride in helping those kids. And the cool part, that is just one of the school programs where the kids bowl and participate, and they do start to come through the other programs.
Yeah,
so he's been a part of creating Lifetime Bowlers for 30 years, and they bowled at the Victory. Is it where they started?
I believe they were bowling
at Victory.
Yeah, and if you come down here on any day when that league is bowling, he's on the lanes with the kids, actively engaging them and helping them, and he really, really takes a lot of care with that program. He really, really does.
And then he's involved in the YMCA, and him and his group also. Tommy Schmidt took the words out of my mouth. He does a lot of work for the YMCA, and they've been organizing bowling nights in the afternoons for their seniors to come and bowl and participate. And that's another segment that's grown. And the cool part, Donnie mentions it. I know he participates and they're friends, but there are non-bowlers that come.
Right, they do get some people from the YMCA to come down and just try it out and have a night out.
Yeah, and he's been instrumental in trying to build a youth bowling program out of the Y. So kind of plans get halted here, but he's been pushing. Have you spoke to him? I spoke to him. Let's make this happen. Let's do this. And he's awesome. So congratulations, Mr. C. Good job.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know it's not an easy job to select those award winners. So kudos to you and your team.
Well, our next job now is in the next probably 10 days to send out the congratulation letters to all of these award winners. Now that we have at least a date that we're shooting for in August to have the dinner and the award, as well as send out the second letter to all of the contributors, those bowlers and those families who recognize that to continue the sport and continue the award going, that they volunteer and they donate the trophies. So we have to get on that too, and get that going. So
yeah, and so we couldn't. And so you make a great point there, and I wanted to share also. Visit siusbc.org, the Hall of Fame page, and you'll see that's on the screen here. There's an application process to nominate someone for our Hall of Fame. There are some requirements, so check it out. You've got a whole bunch of months to go nominate someone to be considered for the Hall of Fame. It could be yourself or someone that you know.
And it doesn't have to be somebody that's a good bowler. It could be somebody that's given a lot in service to the association.
Without a doubt.
Or to the sport.
To the sport through, so there's two categories, superior performance and meritorious service. And then Dan, you talk about the awards, and we have to thank those that donate the awards for the events in honor of someone that they know, family member, former bowler, and that's a big part of what we do, keeping the history alive within the tournament. So thank you to those who donate trophies for the events.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a job in itself for you, Dan, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit of follow-up, but we get it done.
Yeah. Well, Dan, thanks for joining us today.
Dan.
Okay.
We appreciate you taking the time and being a part of Live from Rabs. While we would have loved to have your counterpart, Jim, be a part of us, I don't know. I know he's watching. So, Jim, congratulations to you. And, Jim, we're going to have to get you inside the studio at some point because to hear from you. And so, you've got a great team, Dan, but, it's just not the same without you. We missed you.
It's not.
Well, Dan, we look forward to seeing you soon. And before we know it, this is going to be as over as whatever that might be.
Yep.
But we'll be back on the lanes and together celebrating soon.
Yes, we will. Very good. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you very
Dan.
much, Dan. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Take care.
Be well.
Yes. Oh, happy Friday. I thought we had technical difficulties last week. Woof. Hey, Dennis says us older guys have a hard time with this newfangled stuff. Dennis, you had no problem getting on the show with
Dennis
us
had no
couple
problem.
weeks ago. Well, again, congratulations we had breaking
news again.
Because the official announcements haven't been made. While all the award winners were notified, we had held off on the official announcements because of the change in the date of the dinner.
Well, now everybody knows.
So now everybody knows, and the official announcement with some other information will follow. But congratulations to our 2 new Hall of Famers.
Congratulations.
We're getting a young
deserved.
guy and an old guy.
Well deserved on both parts.
Timmy and Jimmy.
Timmy and Jimmy.
And certainly thank you to everyone for their service to bowling. Terry, Allison, John, Donnie Walters. And earlier, Angelo had made a point that he had threw out a shout out to both Daniel Block and Joe Cal. And 2 awesome volunteers that give a lot of time.
Absolutely. And Daniel Block was honored last year.
Yeah, as the Volunteer of the Year.
As a Volunteer of the Year. And I think Joe Cal was a couple years before that, maybe.
Yeah, him and Joe Bruno were recognized at the same time.
2 years ago, I think that was.
Yeah, I really have no concept of time, especially now. Apparently, some people froze up here. We're still here. We're live in person. Maybe you had a reset. And Brian, you did ask a question earlier, and because of the technical difficulties, we didn't necessarily ask Jim and Dan, but we can certainly answer the questions. So, and they're good questions. So, Brian is specifically asking about the association, and what does the Staten Island USBC do, and how do you become a member, and why there isn't necessarily a child association. So. One, the association is a chapter of the national organization, the United States Bowling Congress. We are the Staten Island chapter, and we oversee this jurisdiction of our bowling centers and provide rules and regulations and services that USBC provides at the national level, but from the local service side. So we service our membership through all of the benefits that we provide. The championship tournaments happen to be one of the larger things that we do. It's
really the most visible thing that people really see.
When there are concerns with rules and concerns inside the bowling centers, the association is the first touch point. And the reason why there's not necessarily a separate youth association is because we're all one association. We service all the adults and all the youth. We're one merged association that services everybody. There is a youth committee, and the youth committee has some volunteers that work together to service our youth programs. Naz heads that committee, but the tournaments are a big piece of that, the youth dinner and our scholarships. But as we are one big happy family servicing all of bowling, and you typically become a member when you join a league that's already certified. When you start your bowling season, and most of our leagues are certified with USBC. Yeah. And you fill out a card, or the bowling center in some cases handles it for you. Or you could visit bowl.com and become a member and support USBC and all that we do. And it really, the tagline, A Future for the Sport, I mean, it's not just a tagline. It's what USBC stands for.
Right.
It's building a future for the sport of bowling through rules and regulations. I mean, if we didn't have a governing body,
things would be a mess.
We could have 20-pound bowling balls, 5-pound pins. The lane could be 30 feet.
Right. One lane could be 30. One lane could be 32. Yeah. And yeah, it really oversees the sport everywhere. And just kind of keeps control of it across the United States so that there is some the same as you go from state to state. So it's not just
continuity.
Continuity is the word I was looking for.
And then in New York, we have, and as part of that, every state has an association. The New York State USBC is predominantly a tournament organization.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. That's really, they do other things. We have a huge scholarship program, a huge youth program, but those are all through events. And so some of those were halted this year. The New York State USBC just announced that they were canceling the state women's senior singles event in August. Excuse me, which is one of the larger events that happens over a couple weekends. Excuse me. Yeah. We hosted that event about maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. I guess it was that long ago.
And it's singles. I have to say, the Women's Association ran that event, and it continues today. And women from all over the state of New York go and compete. But that would have been technically the first event of the new season. Right. But still with the unknown, it was in Canandaigua. That's not going to happen this year. And so, while the ladies are upset, I think they understand that. Especially the audience that participates in the events.
Correct.
A lot of women from New York City head out there. So, next August, that event will be there.
It'll be
then this fall, Rabs Country Lanes is hosting the New York State senior masters event.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, you probably don't remember, but we signed the contract 2 years ago.
Okay, well, that's probably why.
And here it is. So this fall
finally came around.
Yeah, finally came around. So this fall we'll be hosting that event and open to all New York State USBC members.
We should have a bang-up group of entries then.
So when we're back up and running and we know more, we'll certainly be sharing that. But look for that in this fall, and I think it's November. Oh God, November 7th and 8th, the Senior Masters, open to all. And so if you're a member of Staten Island USBC, of course, you're eligible because you are a member of the New York State.
Yes, just make sure you're certified to be able to participate in that event.
Yeah, and the Staten Island USBC has some business. We haven't really been meeting during this time, and that was one of the questions I was going to ask for Jim and Dan. But we've been communicating via email and getting ready for the new bowling season. So committees and the board are going to have to meet. And, we'll have to have an annual meeting at some point to do some elections of officers and. But yeah, we're kind of in a little holding.
If we did a Zoom meeting for. We might have the most well-attended.
We might. I mean, I hope so. I mean, as long as Jim did say that, I was impressed before when I was testing this with Jim. He was telling me that Pat does the Zoom calls with one of her social clubs, and they use the computer so they could see it, and the phone for the camera, and the audio.
Oh.
So
we should have had her
Zoom.
Fix them.
Maybe. Well, I know he does it for her.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we should be using Zoom, and he'd be okay. So, hey, and the old photo of the day. Man, Jim, I hope you're still watching, because this was the old photo of the day.
Oh my!
This goes back. This is from one of the sing-along events. We showed a photo yesterday. Skinny Jim.
A long time ago.
Yeah. That is before the office walls were taken down and the locker room was moved. And
that's a long time ago.
That is during the event where Jim took over the office. He was in charge of the 50-50, where we raised thousands of dollars as part of the event. So there's a good old Jim.
Crazy event.
That was a crazy event. That's Rab's desk back there. The office looks like a mess.
Yeah. When Jim comes in, he kind of takes over. He's got buckets all over the place.
He takes over everything. But that's nothing new. Oh, and that was them. That's them. Statler and Waldorf usually sitting at the bar. Well, Jim, like I said, we'll get you back on the show, and thank you, Dan, for being a part, making those announcements today.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for the official announcements.
Congratulations to the winners.
Yeah, lots happening in bowling. I mean, we're slowly itching there.
We're getting there.
You know, one of the we were just talking about getting into phase 1, and New Jersey announced today. You know, it's the fight of the governors to who's going to speak first, because all their egos are this big.
No.
And so Murphy got on before Cuomo today.
Usually it's de Blasio, then Cuomo. This is what it was, and then it was Murphy.
Right.
But now Murphy's trying to edge his way.
He's getting in there. He's getting in there. So one of the things that he announced is non-contact youth sports can start within the month. Now bowling is a non-contact youth sport. So if you can open up facilities for non-contact sports, well, we should be thinking about bowling centers because this is a non-contact sport.
And they didn't specify.
No, it's not facilities. It's outdoors. It's non-contact. Outdoors.
Okay.
They're not opening facilities.
Oh, okay.
At least the way that I understood what I read so far. But we'll see. Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
Baby steps. Tomorrow is Saturday.
And you know what Saturday is, Frank?
Pro Bowler Saturday. And we invite our friends, Joe Cal, into the studio.
Yes, he is.
Because it's Saturday. He's not working. And we've got a special guest. Who's our guest tomorrow?
Shannon O'Keefe.
And hopefully Shannon will be with us tomorrow.
And hopefully all works out with her and she'll be able to join us. And I'm looking forward to it.
Oh no, King Cuomo doesn't have an ego, does he? Oh, see, you guys are making me laugh here. So we're not going there. But anyway,
there is, and you did, Kevin. You did. You did.
That was Angelo.
No. Kevin's quote. Kevin.
Oh, he made it. Yeah, he made it through a show without an angry face. Yeah, Kevin's gotten click happy. So we see the reaction when you guys put in likes and hearts and laughs, and we have this little counter on the top of our screen. And so 2 days in a row, we had this angry face. Now we haven't seen an angry face in a while. And when I highlight over it, I can see who did it. And there was an angry face 2 days in a row, and it was Kevin. And I said, did we piss you off or something? And he goes, yeah, I don't even know that I did that. Which I think was the same thing. Pearl was the one that did it the last time, and she's saying that it wasn't, but it was her. I have to go find that show and find it again, but I know you're watching, Pearl. But today, Pearl is wow. And we love the likes and the hearts, so keep pressing those.
Yeah,
keep pressing those. Those help the algorithms and the people to see more of what we put out there. Yeah. And we've had a great viewing week. We have a lot of people going back. I mean, more than last week, going back and watching our content. I mean,
Frank, come on. Really? Look at the guests that we've welcomed into our show.
Can we get into a bidding war? Is there a network out there that wants us?
There's got to be somebody.
We could make more money on network TV than we could sitting here like two hacks.
Two hacks. That's us.
Oh, well, we really do appreciate you guys joining us today every day. Tomorrow, Shannon O'Keefe, Joe Cal, great show lined up. But first, tonight is bingo night.
BINGOOO.
Bingo! I'm going to have to use that. Well, bingo is back. So tonight, 7 o'clock, live on Facebook. Check it out, sinorthshorerotary.org/bingo. And you can join in on the fun, virtual bingo night. It's one of Naz and Ray's favorite nights.
We love it. My whole family, we sit around the living room and play bingo.
I'm looking forward to it. There are always surprises in store. So for those that are watching that have been participating, thank you. I know many of you have already bought your cards. Check your emails because I was sending out bingo cards this morning to try to get ahead of it. Okay. So virtual bingo, we give away cash, restaurant gift cards, scratch-offs. I mean, you name it. We even play Plinko.
Plinko.
Nazareth got to play Plinko last week.
I like Plinko.
And maybe you'll get to play Plinko again.
If I'm lucky.
And Ray's going to offer up some bowling lessons. I like it. So come and join us tonight. It's just fun. You support the community at the same time in the efforts of the North Shore Rotary Club. And, of course, by the end of the week, we'll have a deadline for Rab's Got Talent. Naz, we're still fishing for talent. I'm waiting for those videos.
Come on, people.
We've got a bunch of them. I'm looking for more.
All right. I'm going to poke some people again. I poked a couple yesterday. I got a little more poking to do.
Bowlatrabs.com. Oh, poke. I miss my little bowls too. My pokey
bowls. The
sushi and the rice edamame. Like
none of them are open.
I'm a little. Well, one of them was open.
You're leery,
but they're not busy. So when they're not busy, I look.
Some of that stuff is sitting around for a while.
Yeah, and I think the one here across from White Castle closed.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
that was actually really nice, very clean. I liked going in there.
Yeah.
But they weren't busy, so they weren't really going through product.
Yeah, that's
so they didn't. Sadly they didn't make it before this. But there's the Hawaii Poke Bowl across from the.
There's a couple of them, right? There's one, right?
They're good, but I haven't had my.
I have not had a poke bowl.
I love that. I mean, you like the acai bowls.
Acai bowl, I will tell you, that is life.
I even like the kale bowls.
Yeah, we've had that. We have the kale bowl and the acai and the other one.
The only problem is they're
fruit one.
So frozen, and you just want to bite into it, and you just brain freeze happens so fast.
No, you gotta let it. You gotta let it sit.
So anyway, we want to showcase your chat talent, and it could be eating a bowl. I mean, I don't know what your talents are,
yes.
but bowlatrabs.com
I thought about having
talent.
sushi tonight, but I don't know sushi.
Oh God. Well, Anne's got her bingo cards. Oh, Angela's looking for cocktail recipes. Gin or rum? Can't decide. Vodka. I'll decide for you. Here, some Strike Spirits vodka. I pulled this back out because I feel like I need this today. Oh, you know what? I pulled this out because Strike Spirits had launched this liquor line, and it's not bad stuff. This is like this vodka is made from corn, kind of like Tito's.
Right.
It's almost like the Kirkland vodka. Kirkland is very good, but it's the runoff of the Grey Goose. This is made of the runoff of the Tito's.
Oh.
So there's a couple. They've got vodka, rum, tequila, but now they had a slow launch. But you could buy the empty bowling pin bottles on Amazon.
Oh, and then put whatever you want.
And put whatever you want in them. So check it out on Amazon. I hate to promote Amazon sometimes, but I mean this is a cool product. And
that's a good
these
product.
guys are really great. They launched this. We're in some Costco's. What's the other big wine and liquor stores around the country? Wine So Fine or something. One of those outlets. But you could buy these empty bottles and fill them with whatever you want and put them in your cabinet. I mean, you could just put juice in them.
Yeah.
So they're pretty cool. Check it out on Amazon. Strike Spirits and the empty bottles. I mean, and Joni, these are probably good for crafts too.
Yeah. Those are really nice.
So that was the other reason why I pulled it out. I might crack it open too.
All right. Well, we'll see
before bingo, which I don't know if that'll be a good thing.
That's probably not a good idea.
Terry, we you know what? I have to say we do miss your Amazon deliveries. I miss seeing the Amazon delivery girl with the pink shoes. She runs in and runs out. And I say that because I only ever see her shoes. I never get to see, like the one day that I actually saw her and said hello, she ran out.
She's got a deadline. She's got stuff to deliver.
The only delivery
people are tracking her
they are.
On their app.
They really are. And then I have to say they've been making a lot of mistakes lately. Like I had a package that was delivered here in the beginning of all this for TD Bank that I finally got delivered because they weren't open. Then another one, I don't even know what to do with it because the address is not even on the package. Like the address is gone.
Really?
I just threw it out. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even open it. I don't know what it is. I just threw it out.
Yeah.
At my house, I got 2 packages in the last week.
Yeah,
that don't belong to me.
I haven't gotten any of that. They have been a little flaky with the tracking that I've seen. Like stuff, I'll get it on Tuesday, and I'll get an email saying it's going to be delivered on Wednesday, and I already got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been.
And they're essential. They're working. Oh, and if you have Angela, that's a good suggestion, Hillary. If you have gin, have a Negroni. I love a good Negroni. And then you gotta take the orange peel, and that you need that nice zip of the orange, and with Campari. You could even make it with Aperol, and it'll be a little bit sweeter than the Campari.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All
right. So get ready for bingo night. Send in your submissions for Rab's Got Talent. We already have some. We're looking forward to showcasing more. And you know what? That was great, Naz. Another episode of Live.
Another one in the books.
Episode 67.
It's crazy, Frank.
Time is flying right by us.
Who would have thought? A couple of hacks every day until further notice, live here on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe, like,
share.
all of that stuff.
67? 67?
Show 67.
Okay, that means I can come in and wave.
So
67 is my favorite.
Hi, Ray. And Kevin, you're just so too. I'll show this video tomorrow. Kevin just sent me a video of an Amazon delivery that I have to share, and I'll share it tomorrow. This is from on our block, and the Amazon delivery guy left the trunk open, and all the packages came flying out, and then stopped. So, like, of course, if he was on a deadline, he was. I mean, if I just thought about that, I'll share that tomorrow because that is funny.
There were some very funny memes with the and little videos about the difference in the delivery service, like Amazon, UPS, FedEx.
Like who takes care of the package? And the Amazon guy who takes the picture,
right?
And the UPS guy, the FedEx guy who throws it.
Put a little flowers around it. It's the top of the box. Yeah, they are really funny.
And Angela, you mentioned Drizzly, so that you can order, which is cool. I use Minibar, but for your liquor deliveries from your local liquor stores, if they don't take orders online or on the phone from your local store, there are a couple of apps that you can do, and
you can have it delivered.
And I even asked one of the liquor stores that I frequent, do they get killed on the percentage? And he says no. He goes, it's a great platform. I don't have a problem with receiving those orders. It's actually easier. And the cool part, like last week, I ordered 3 bottles of Aperol to keep stocked.
Right. And
they only had 2, but I got a text message, I got a phone call from the store, and then I got a phone call from Minibar. Like they're just on top of
that's
the
good.
orders. So
alcohol is important.
It is, especially now. It's essential. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow here on Live from Rabs. Naz,
that was awesome.
Stay healthy, everybody.
Bye-bye.